My dear students, good morning everybody. I think all of you are well. I am also well. Today I am going to take another class or take a class on completing sentences, and this class is for the students of both class 11 and 12. So I request to all of you that you will stay with me from the very beginning to the end of the class, and this topic or this question number is very important. You will be given 7 questions, and each question will carry 1 marks, and you will get easily 7 marks. So if you can complete any sentence in English, then it will be very helpful for you to improve your writing skill, at the same time both your speaking skills. Writing and speaking skills will be developed. Okay, but before going to discuss or carry on our discussion on these topics, we must keep in mind some important things. What things should be followed? What things should be kept in mind before going to complete an incomplete sentence? I am going to mention them, and so I request all of you to be attentive from the very beginning to the end, and I also request you to keep a khata with you and write down some important notes, and it will be very helpful for you in your future or next time. Now, the things that should be kept in mind. At first, we should keep in mind tense. Number 2, sentence, subject, verb and agreement. All these things should be kept in mind before going to complete an incomplete sentence. And if you fail to understand or identify tense appropriately, then our target will not be fulfilled. Another important thing is that you must know phrases and clauses. So I think all of you have good idea over tense, but I want to tell something about these 2 things, about phrases and clauses. Actually, what is the basic difference between a phrase and a clause? The basic difference is that a phrase is a group of words having no finite verb, but used as a parts of a speech in a sentence. A group of words and used as a parts of a speech in a word, whereas a clause is a part of a larger sentence having a subject and a finite verb. Both phrases and clauses are used in a sentence, but we can easily identify which one is a clause and which one is a phrase. A clause must have a subject and a finite verb, but in case of a phrase it doesn't have a finite verb. Actually, phrase consists of without a finite verb. If there is a verb, then that cannot be a phrase. So, before going to complete an incomplete sentence, we must keep in mind these 4 things. Then it will be very easy for us to complete a sentence. At the same time, clause, you know that I am going to write a sentence, then it will be very clear or easy for you to understand. As it is raining. Number 1. Number 2, as it was raining. I have written on the board 2 incomplete sentences. We have to complete both of them. Now, at first I told you that you must know or you must be able to identify tense. This is a part of sentence and this sentence is not completed. You have to complete the other part of the sentence, but you must maintain semantic. That means you have to complete the sentence using a clause or a phrase, but it must be relevant according to the another part or the given part of the sentence. Understand? I think it is clear to you. It is clear to you. Now, this is a clause because there is a subject and a finite verb, and at the beginning of the sentence there is a conjunction. As here, as has been used as a conjunction, and this is a clause, and you have to use another clause. Because this is not a complete sentence, you have to complete it using another clause. And what is the main characteristics of a clause? A clause must have a subject and a finite verb. But you should keep in mind at the same time about tense. This sentence has been given in present form, present continuous form. So you have to write the other part of the sentence either in present or future, but you cannot use any past form of, you cannot write the sentence in past form. Understand? So, as it is raining, you have to write the other part of the sentence using present form, present tense, using present tense. So, I can complete the sentence such like that. He cannot go out without an umbrella. This part of the sentence has been given in present form, present continuous form. So you have to maintain the sequence of the first part of the sentence. As it is in present form, you have to write the other part of the sentence in present form. Here, can indicate present form. Understand? He cannot and the other part of the sentence must be relevant according to the meaning of the first part of the sentence. This is a complete sentence. As it is raining, he cannot go out without an umbrella. This is a complete sentence. This is a single sentence, but in this sentence it has two parts. The first part is subordinate clause and the second part is principal clause. Before subordinate clause, a subordinate conjunction must be used. Understand? Here as has been used as subordinating conjunction, but in this part of the sentence or in this clause there is no conjunction, so it is principal clause. And if you cut out this part of the sentence, it can be a full sentence. He cannot go out without an umbrella, but if this part is missing, then it cannot express its meaning fully. Understand? Okay. Now I think you can complete the next part of this sentence. The difference is that this is the first sentence has been given in present continuous form, but in the second sentence the first part of the sentence has been given in past continuous form. It's okay. So you cannot here use any present form or future form. Rather, you have to use or complete the sentence in past form. Understand? Okay. Now we can complete the sentence. He could not go out without an umbrella. Understand? And I am going to mention another important thing, and you should keep in mind that if you use the principal clause or main clause at the beginning of a sentence and subordinate clause in the latter part of the sentence, then no comma will be used. But if you write down the subordinate clause at the beginning of the sentence, then you have to separate it using a comma. Without using comma, it will not be able to express its meanings clearly. Understand? Okay. Now I am going to write down another sentence. She was 30 years old when please try to follow me. She was 30 years old. This part of the sentence is given in principal clause, but you have to complete the latter part of the sentence using a subordinate clause, and you know that a subordinate clause always starts with a subordinating conjunction. And what are the subordinate conjunction? Can you mention the name of some subordinate conjunction? Yes, as, since, when, who, whom, whose, what, whose, how, why, where, when, till, until, less, unless, though, although, if, whether, before, after, as soon as long as, that, so that, in order that, etc. All these conjunction does the function, all these conjunctions are subordinating conjunction. So, if these conjunctions are found before any clause, if any of these conjunction is found before any sentence, any part of a sentence or any clause, then we can easily, or we can no doubt say that this clause is a subordinate clause. So, in this sentence, the first sentence is in simple past tense. So, we have to complete the other part of the sentence using simple past form or using past tense. You cannot complete this part of the sentence using either present tense or future tense. Rather, you have to use past form. You have to complete the sentence using past form. So, we can write, she was 30 years old when she left her village. Now, please notice, here we have complete the sentence using a subject and a finite verb, but I told you that the first part of the sentence is given or has been given in past form. So, the latter part of the sentence will be completed using past form. Now, we have written on the board that she left her village. This part of the sentence is in simple past form. Understand? Okay. Now, we shall try to complete another sentence. I do not know when dash. I do not know. This part of the sentence is in present form. So, the latter part of the sentence will be either in present form or future form. You cannot use past form. Understand? So, I do not know when he will come. When he will come. If the first part of the sentence is in present form, then the latter part will be either in present form or future form, but it will depend upon the meaning of the sentence. Upon the meaning of the sentence. Now, I am going to complete or write another sentence. He asked me when dash. Now, try to follow. Here subject and V2, subject plus V2. So, this is simple past, and the latter part of the sentence will be written, definitely it will be written in past form. he asked me when the next train would come. Here the next train, this is subject, and would come, this indicate. Here actually if it is written in direct speech, then we will write will, but it has been written in indirect speech, so the past form of will is would, so we have used here would. He asked me when the next train would come, so this part also indicate past form. But if I write another sentence, do you know where dash? Do you know? This is in simple present form, so the next part of the sentence will be in either in present form or future tense, and it will depend upon the meaning of the sentence. So I can complete the sentence, do you know where he lives? This is in simple present form. Okay, today I like to stop here, and I request all of you will go through this chapter, and in my next class I shall discuss elaborately on this topic. Thank you all.